Well. Welcome back, eSIM Studio. So, got a very good score, test, results, whatever you want to call it, for, you guessed it, S25 Ultra. It got rated the very best display of any smartphone, right? Which is kind of a shock. Kind of not, right? So, if you're, I know we have a lot of new subscribers and a lot of new viewers, but I want to show you something. So last year there was a report saying, and I did a video and a short in regards to this, right? So let me pull up the screen. So there was a report saying, this came out when? October 25th, 2024. S25 series may not use Samsung's best OLED panels. Samsung S25 series could use older display tech so Samsung can save money. Now, we all know the Snapdragon 8 Elite costs 30% more to manufacture, among other parts and suppliers raising prices inside of the S25 series. So Samsung had to cut back on other expenditures to try to keep the price the same for consumers. And they were essentially going to use the thought when this article came out, they were going to use the same OLED panels that was on the S24 series, right? So whatever was on the S24 will be on the S25. Whatever was on the S24 Plus will be on the S25 Plus. And whatever was on the S24 Ultra would be on the S25 Ultra. A lot of fans were scratching their heads, including myself, because when the S24 Ultra was launched, it saw a lot of criticism at launch for the display, especially for the S24 Ultra, because remember there was that whole graininess thing, and remember you couldn't get it really vibrant, right? Like most Samsung fans love, like myself, vibrant OLED displays. Once you go OLED, you never go back, right? Especially with Samsung. So we were like, damn, I hope they don't put this same. And it wasn't a bad display, but it wasn't like the Samsung of the past. So moving from S24 to S25 series, I wasn't so quite sure that this S25 Ultra panel is the same panel that's on the S24 Ultra. I tried to do my own. I tried to pull up some information. I couldn't confirm if this is the same exact display. Now, those of you are watching, maybe you can shed some light and debunk that theory or prove it. But what is known is that it got the very best display of any smartphone to date for the S25 Ultra. Now, there is a small chance, or there not a small chance, there is a chance it is the same display. They just, fine-tuned it, right? So let's get into the scores. Let's get into the DXoMark scores. So DXoMark, they rate smartphone cameras, right? Displays, stuff like that. They're a very recognizable company, and we'll get into this among some other stories that we have here, but let's see here. So we'll take a look at how they rated this display. So the S25 Ultra achieved a top score in DXoMark's display test, excelling in readability due to its high peak illuminance of 2600 nits and anti-reflective coating, providing a best-in-class outdoor experience. While exhibiting excellent outdoor readability, the display's brightness was slightly excessive in low light conditions, and it failed to receive the eye comfort label due to high blue light emission, even with night mode activated. That's one difference between the OnePlus 13 and apparently S25 Ultra. OnePlus 13 is actually a better display for PWM. If you're one of those that get headaches or sensitive to the displays, what you might want to look at the OnePlus 13 over the S25 Ultra. Obviously, try both if you can, but I believe for PWM, for eye strain, the OnePlus 13 display is a little better, even though I believe that's a Samsung display. I believe, or is it BOE? I can't remember. But anyways, back to this. So Significant improvements in color performance were observed compared to its predecessor, the S24 Ultra, with accurate color rendering in faithful mode and reduced color shifts at angles. So video performance was also top tier, showing a substantial improvement over the S24 Ultra, particularly in low light conditions, with a more comfortable 24 nit HDR peak luminance compared to the S24 Ultra's 80 nits. Now, the S25 Ultra's touch performance was generally good for web browsing and image navigation, but occasional unintentional touches were noted, resulting in a score slightly below direct competitors in the Ultra's premium segment. DXoMark's display tests involve a comprehensive series of objective and perceptual evaluations under controlled lab and real-life conditions, considering both hardware capabilities and software optimization. The overall DXoMark score reflects the user experience provided by the screen, encompassing various aspects like readability, color accuracy, video performance, and touch responsiveness. I'm going to leave a link in the description box below for all of the test scores and a link to what we're looking at right now, so you can check out all these specifications and just exactly what they tested on this S25 Ultra. Now, it is interesting. I will try to dive into it a little more to see if this is the same exact display. Again, I was not able to confirm that or not, but regardless if it is the same display or not, the developers and technicians over at Samsung can fine-tune this, right? They can send different power levels and different it's amazing what Samsung does with displays. They're probably the best when it comes to AMOLED displays, along with LG. They don't do many smartphones, but they still do. They make displays behind the scenes for other companies. So phenomenal rating for Samsung here. So very, very good score. Now, getting back to the S25 series and charging. So I put a video out, what was it, a few days ago, right? I know many of you all have seen that, where I basically, mind-blowing, and look, I don't have a degree in physics, right? I don't have a degree in electrical engineering. I do have a degree in automotive technology. I do have a degree in hotel and restaurant management, even though that does not directly apply to phones and electronics, but it is what it is. The charging on the S25 Ultra, so I plugged it into a Samsung Samsung laptop charger and or Chromebook charger. The Samsung brick that comes with the laptops and the Chromebooks. And I plugged it in with a super thick high amperage cable into my S25 Ultra and got 8.6 amps going to the S25 Ultra. Incredible. I think the most I got on my S24 Ultra was like maybe 4, right? 4 point something amps. So look, I know there's the voltage and the amperage and the watts. They all play in factor in charging. But I think the point of the video was to show you just how many amps the phone was sucking in, right? Or they was pushing to charge the device. Well, here in the boost in charging speeds has been noted not just by myself, but a lot of S25 series, specifically S25 Ultra owners that I've interacted with have all said, wow, the charging is faster. Now, it's not OnePlus fast, right? We all know that. But Samsung and Google, right? These two companies, that's high on the list. That's very, very high on the list of things that they need to improve upon is charging speeds, right? And now, here's something that we caught and makes sense, or excuse me, should I say Android Authority caught. So check this out. So if you're one of the people that got the S25 series or S25 Plus or S25 Ultra, Samsung packs a charging upgrade in the box. Nah, I know, kind of hard to believe, right? So Samsung in the S25 Plus and S25 Ultra include a 45-watt charging cable. So we all know the charging brick is long gone. It's never coming back, unfortunately. But, and I didn't even realize this, in the past, and hats off to Android Authority, they were putting 25-watt charging cables inside the boxes. And them simply just supplying 45-watt charging cables, meaning it allows for up to 45-watt current through that cable, simply improves the charging speeds, right? So the Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus and S25 Ultra are reportedly shipping with a 45-watt USB-C to USB-C cable, which is a significant upgrade from the 25-watt cables included with previous Plus and Ultra models despite their 45-watt charging capabilities. This change addresses a long-standing criticism of Samsung, which has previously bundled lower wattage cables with phones capable of charging faster, forcing users to purchase separate 45-watt chargers and cables to utilize the device's full charging potential. While Samsung's flagship phones no longer include a charger in the box, as we discussed earlier, the inclusion of a 45-watt cable with the S25 Plus and S25 Ultra is a welcomed improvement, providing users with a backup cable that supports the phone's maximum charging speeds. I'm going to link this article in the description box below, and you can check out any further details that I'm going to dive into, but that's the basis of the article. And a nice little surprise, and helps kind of make sense of the faster charging, and kind of everybody was kind of blown away by this faster charging thing. A nice surprise, but now we're starting to see why. Now check this out. A little more updated information from a video we put out maybe about 2 or 3 weeks ago. The S25 Edge. Now, we have some new updated information, specifically performance of this device. So I put a video out, maybe 2 or 3 videos out, not on this specific topic, but on me and my overall thoughts of how I believed this was going to be a failure from the start, right? And I referenced my Z Flip 4 as a perfect example, real-life example of why I believe this is going to be basically a fail from the start. So the Z Flip 4, my experience with that, to wrap it up, it was the worst experience I've ever had of any mobile phone. Samsung, LG, Motorola, Google Pixel, any of them. And the reason was because the battery was so small and the charging was so slow at 25 watts that the battery would be dead by lunchtime. And when I plugged it in to charge it, it charged so slow that, and it was during the day. It's not like it's at night where you plug it in and you put your head on the pillow and go to sleep. I was still using the phone, right? Working from home. So you plug it in, you're still kind of using it. Well, it's drawing the power to operate the device and not using the power to charge it. So you would basically be dead. You would have a regular, you would use up the battery from wake up to lunchtime, and then from lunchtime to the end of the day, you're battling running out of power. It was horrible. And I feel like the S25 Edge is going to be similar, not exactly the same, but similar, right? The Snapdragon 8 Elite is a very powerful CPU, which is why some people are having overheating issues. But we thought it initially, when the benchmark scores initially got released, the scores were very underwhelming. Scored considerably lower than its old bigger brother S25, S25 Plus, and S25 Ultra. Wonder why is that, right? Well, the Edge is supposed to be a super slim device. Now, the smaller the interior is, the less room for a vapor chamber, the less room for that heat to escape, the less room for that heat to dissipate. So that heat's going to build up inside. It's going to get hot. It has a pretty small battery. Less than 4,000 milliamp per hour. I think it's just under 4,000 milliamp per hour battery, so it's like 3,750. Pretty small. So that's why I was kind of comparing it to the Z Flip 4, where the battery is going to go quick unless they can optimize it. But let's face it, it's a small battery. It's going to drain quick. And then here is the mind-blowing thing. Samsung's only putting a 25-watt charging, 25-watt charging in this Edge, S25 Edge. So it's going to charge slow and it's going to drain fast. That's why I compared it to the Z Flip 4. But we have new information, updated information on performance. So the Galaxy S25 Edge gets retested in a new benchmark leak with the overclocked 8-core 8 Elite displaying its full potential in the multi-core tests. And I'm going to link this article in the description below. Galaxy S25 Edge benchmark leak shows significant performance improvement over the last leak. Recent Geekbench 6 benchmark leak reveals a substantial 21% improvement in multi-core score for the S25 Edge, reaching a score of 8,416 points compared to previous disappointing results. So this improved performance is attributed to the use of the overclocked 8-core Snapdragon 8 Elite processor running at 4.47 gigahertz, showcasing its full potential, especially in multi-core tasks, despite a slight decrease in single-core score to 2,806 points. The device features 12 gigabytes of RAM, suggesting Samsung is standardizing this memory capacity across the S25 lineup, and the improved benchmark scores indicate the phone is nearing its anticipated April launch. While the initial low scores were speculated to be due to insufficient cooling, the updated results suggest the earlier benchmarks may not have accurately reflected the 8 Elite's capabilities due to optimization issues with Geekbench 6 at the time. Now, that is certainly true, and time will tell. And there is the score here for everybody wanting to take a look at the Geekbench 6 score. So, sort of good news. Look, I wanted to get this device, and the more it went on, the more I kind of figured, well, this is not adding up to that good of a device. In fact, that's why I related it to my Z Flip 4 experience. Small battery, powerful CPU, and slow charging is going to equal a disaster. But if you want to try it, give it a shot, be my guest. Look, you go ahead and get it if you want it. You got 2 weeks to return it. And see what the battery life is. I doubt I'm gonna buy it. Samsung's not sending me stuff, so I think I'm gonna pass, right? So I usually pass on first gen new products. So whenever there's like a first generation product, I always skip it. I never really buy it. Always wait for the second generation or third generation, because that's when they kind of iron out the kinks, iron out all the issues a lot of people were having with the first generation. Typically, a second gen, especially a third gen product, usually is significantly better, right, than its first generation. And I'm just gonna wait and see. Look, I'm so happy with this blue one. It's not overheating. It's cool as a cucumber. So I'm very, very happy with this S25 Ultra. So I'm gonna probably skip this Edge, and if they make an S26 Edge, I might get that. Maybe not, but we'll have to wait and see. But I appreciate it. Look, before we get out of here, I'm going to release a video. Samsung, at the moment, as I look down at my phone, is releasing the security update for the S25 series. So let me pull this up real quick, and we will do a review of this update here in a little bit. Hang on. So as you can tell here, Samsung releases OneUI 7 update for the S25 series. So I literally just checked my phone. So if you have an S25 series, if somebody you know has an S25 series, tell them to go to your settings app, tell them to scroll down to software update, select software update, select download and install, and check, right? Mine's still not hitting. I have an appointment I have to make, so we will do maybe a live. Maybe we'll go live this afternoon, but I'm going to dive into this update over the next few hours, see what they improved upon, and we will discuss it either this afternoon or tomorrow. Please stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel so you get notified when we do discuss this update. But I want everybody to go check to see if you have an update. If you do have it, download it, install it. Everybody that has overheating issues, I know there's still some people in the comments that are calling my bluff. saying somebody paid me to make the video, huh? Like, I literally returned the black one because it was overheating. You can see in the comments there's numerous people that have the same issue. It's not a widespread issue, but it's a hit or miss thing. Meaning, like, if you get it and you overheat, you got it, right? I have 3 in the house. Well, I had 3. One had overheating. The 2 others did not. So it's, you know, I'm hoping this update fixes the overheating issue. I went ahead and returned my black one. So if it fixes it, I guess I'm the dummy for returning it. But if you still have yours and yours is still getting hot, please update and install this. Another tip somebody gave me, and I beg your pardon for, I was going to bring your username up, but you know who you are if you're watching this. They said clear the cache. So if you boot your phone into recovery, if you have an overheating issue, go into recovery. And you can Google it, find out how to do that. Clear the cache partition in your S25 Ultra. Reboot your phone. Samsung gave that information to a user that passed it on to me that was having overheating issues. So hopefully this update and or clearing the cache partition in your device will fix the overheating. I don't know. I didn't test it, but just passing on some information to those of y'all that have that issue. But hopefully this solves it. Look, stay tuned. We'll dive into this, and subscribe to the channel, as I mentioned, so you get notified when we do discuss. But update is here. All right, guys. I'll see y'all soon.